Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live episode of Coaching for the Soul. Today is Thursday, and if you're watching this on a replay, maybe 5 years, 10 years from now, today is Thursday, July 15, 2021, and we're doing Coaching for the Soul every Thursday live here at Decaf Coffee Republic, your coaching hub, the home of certified life coaches in the Philippines. So magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Thank you for being here. So if you are within the area, you want to hop in, you want to join us, you can join us on floor at 7 o'clock every Thursday. We're doing Coaching for the Soul, and I'm going live at 7:30 for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to go back to my on-floor guests because I want to spend more time of the people coming in here and to honor their time and have really a beautiful conversation. So I'd like to invite all of you, one of this coming Thursday, if you're within the area, we are inside Pioneer Center along Pioneer Road, corner Brixtons, United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. We are just across Bayanihan Center. So just get inside the compound of the iconic PC, and Decaf Coffee Republic is on the second floor. Now, Coaching for the Soul is coming in every Thursday, and this is your weekly coaching conversation centered around human mind, emotions, and will. Our aim here is to bring alignment between our inner man's game or man's inner game and the outer game through the platform of life coaching. And tonight, we're going to be talking about silver lining, finding hope in the tumultuous world. Okay, so I'd like you to type in and hop in and let me know what comes to your mind when you hear the word silver lining. What comes to your mind when you hear the word silver lining? The world is covered with war, strife, crime, chaos, and of course, pandemic. We're now on our second year of COVID-19. The world can be very terrifying for all of us. Even at home, things could be unsettled. Even at work, we experience relationships, issues, concerns. And at times, everywhere we look, there seems to be a brand new crisis that comes up. How many of you can connect? Let me know in the chat box. Now, my question to you is, what do you do when you feel that everything around you is kind of blowing up and you feel like you're next? It's just like you're out of control and you're feeling that the next person or the next thing that will practically blow is you. And oftentimes, this is where we say, hang in there, there's a silver lining. Okay? So what does it mean? It means that there is hope. Okay? Hope is the optimistic state of our mind that is based on an expectation of something that is positive to come. Okay? We expect with confidence that things can get better. Hope is commonly used as, for many people would say, I wish. Okay? I hope. It kind of gives us the strength to believe, the strength to desire, the strength to carry on. And in the Bible, it says that hope is the confident expectation of what God has promised to us, and it is our strength in His faithfulness. So whether you look at in Wikipedia, you look at in the Bible, and based on your experience, I'm sure you will agree with me that hope is an experience. Okay? When you say, I have hope, it means that you are experiencing it. So let me ask you, how many of you here watching on floor guests would say, I am experiencing hope during this time? How many of you here felt lethargic when it's rainy days? How many of you here feels like, I don't want to move? Okay. Or how many of you here feels kind of low mood when the sun is going down? How many of you here feels not really good, not really at your best when season changes? In the United States, over 10 million Americans have SAD disorder. And what is SAD? It's seasonal affective disorder. Okay, so SAD. SAD comes about during winter months when the sunlight is less plentiful. Yeah. Okay, seasonal affective disorder or SAD. How many of you here knows that? That, at a certain point in time you experience SAD. Hands up? Yeah, we experience that. So, and for some, when the sun is about to break through the clouds, okay, we feel that kind of new emotion, new excitement, and we feel that we're hopeful. So, now you realize that hope is not just a word, not just an adjective, but hope is really a verb. That is an action word, that you hope. So, how many of you here can relate what exactly is an experience of hope and how powerful the experience of hope is in your life? What is the power of hope? There's a lot more than your ability to look at the bright side of things. In fact, when you know the power of hope, and if you truly focus every single day to experience hope, you will realize that there's a lot of things that you can accomplish. How many of you here experience having the start of the day with a big smile? Like you're smiling. Can you connect that when you do that, you're hopeful? Yeah. It's just like when you wake up, you're all smile. And sometimes some people would ask you, what are you smiling about? And you're just like, what? Hopeful. Okay. How many of you here, without anything happening new, you know that you are joyful? And you don't feel anxious, you're not fearful, you're not worried, and many people would say you're optimistic, but truth of the matter, what? You're hopeful. You find hope, and you're experiencing hope. How many of you here, you've been through difficult times, or maybe right now you're facing difficult situations in your life, and you look at the situation and you feel like, I see clarity. That's hope. How many of you here, like nobody have to push you, but you are motivated to do things? Yes, that's hope. Am I correct, Dee? That's hope. That's hope. Okay? So, because sometimes we don't know what hope is. Okay? We just say, I'm hopeful. But when you know exactly the power of hope, you will really do things intentionally, because truth of the matter, you are experiencing the power of hope. What about, here's the thing, what about you having problems and all of a sudden you feel a sudden rush of creativity? Like, this is how we do it. Let's get started on this. I remember you did that when those children need something, right? The power to give. How many of you get that? Like, let's get people together, let's put our money, let's do some Samaritan's work, and that's creativity. That's hope. How many of you here experience that you are ready to live with adventure? That life is an adventure. Even if it's a pandemic, you're joyful and you say it's a... Yeah? That's hope. And how many of you here is ready to engage in deeper relationships? I'm not talking about romantic, I'm talking about deeper relationships. You're hopeful. You got hope that going in a deeper relationship will bring something. That's an experience of hope. What about you feeling better even if you're experiencing some physical difficulty? But you feel better. How many of you experienced that? That you kind of like, you have colds, you got flu, or maybe you're just not physically well, but you feel better. I don't know if you experience that. I have that. Physically, it's not well, but you feel better. And when people ask you, how are you? You say, I'm better. But you're still there. You're in bed. Yeah? That's hope. Yeah, you're still in bed, but when people ask you, you say, I'm better. And they ask you, they check Do you have fever? And you say, yeah, I still have fever. I have still cough and all. But you feel what? Better. That's the experience of hope. And here's one thing. What about being able to sleep soundly like a baby even if everybody is having a difficult times? And you can still sleep like a baby. Exactly. That's the experience of hope. Can you imagine that? Okay, so now my question to you, sleep like a baby, okay? Oversleeping, okay? So now my question to you is, how do you know you've lost hope? That's my question to you now. How do you know you've lost hope? Come on now, put it in the chat box, put it in the screen, and for people on the floor, okay, put it in your paper. How do you know that you've lost hope? No energy, okay? Yes? What? Okay. I'm gonna give you a couple of things. Okay, watch it out. Check it out. You wake up tired. Even if you have slept 8 hours or 12 hours, you wake up, you're tired, you're feeling tired. How many of you experience that? And it's kind of negativity crowds in almost always. Like something is happening and the next thing you know, you're thinking something negative. Or things are well and you're thinking, what's gonna happen next? That's not right. Okay. Okay. And everybody is excited, but you're lethargic. Okay? What about your creativity seems to be dying? Yeah? And it feels like you're failing even if you're not doing anything yet. Sounds familiar? Feels familiar? Okay? What about you're dissatisfied? No matter what kind of beautiful results you get, you're just dissatisfied with it. You're just not like, no, that's not the best. And this is something you might be surprised. You're losing it, the experience of joy, when you want to play it safe. You want to play it safe. Like, because what happens when you want to play it safe, okay, you do not believe or you seem not to believe that taking a risk will give you success. Mapanakit. Okay? So it's like no hope of success. And so you'll rather do things the old way, even if it is less than a satisfactory outcome for you. Who's connecting with me? You're not taking risks even if what you are experiencing right now is less than the satisfactory outcome that you want. Okay? Because in your mind, you're saying, well, at least I don't even have to experience a disaster. Okay? Next is you're losing it when you isolate. When you isolate. Okay. How many of you here experience this? That even if things are difficult, things are challenging, you talk to people and you talk about ideas, you talk about creativity, you talk about solutions, you talk about what you can do, right? That's when you are hopeful. But when things starts to go on spiral and you isolate and you don't want to talk to people, it's because by that time you're losing the hope that things can get better. Who's connecting with me? Put some emoji on the chat box. Yes. And this is something that you cannot, okay? This is something that you cannot miss. Two things that you're losing hope. Okay? Two things. And that's an intro. That's an intro. That's an intro, of course. Okay, so these two things cannot, okay, you cannot miss this, okay? If all the things you say, oh, I don't have it, coach. Two things. Number one, you are having insomnia attack. Insomnia strikes. Okay? And the second part is, okay, if you can still sleep, okay, your health starts to suffer. And what does it mean? It takes time for you to heal from offense. It takes time for you to forgive. It takes time for you to recover physically. Okay? And sometimes you feel that you're sick, but when you get to your doctor, when you go for a checkup, for a medical consultations, the doctor cannot find anything wrong with you. And I've met a lot of people like that. So, for those of you who like to play it escape, okay? For those of you who want to run, okay? Just escape. Coach, I don't have it. Okay, here's the thing. Do some checking when things don't seem fun anymore to you. And it's just a so-so. Okay? What about you engaging in destructive behaviors? Okay? Without hope, you know what happened? Your brain starts looking for ways to hide. Okay? The world seems to be an impossible place for you. So you kind of protect yourself from everyone, from fun, okay? And even when things are right, you want to go on a destructive response because you think that's the way to protect yourself. Okay? If you know someone, or if it's you, and destructive behavior is like what you can see, what you are experiencing right now, let me tell you this. Destructive behavior can be pure escape response. When you engage in this behavior, often you want to get away from what's going on in your life. And therefore, if you are in that state right now, please, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and start experiencing joy. Attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. And oftentimes we say, be in an attitude of gratitude. But attitude of gratitude needs action. You can say, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I appreciate life, but if you're not taking action, it's not gonna bear any fruits and it will not bring your hope back. If you're feeling lost right now and you're feeling that your hope is kind of being challenged and you're not experiencing it, watch your online presence. If you cannot turn off your phone, if you cannot live without your phone, okay, or the negative things in media truly hits you, okay, it's about time that you consider what you need to do with your phone, what you need to do with your gadgets. Another thing is you may want to look into how do you question others? How do you question other people's work? How do you question other people's worth? How do you question other people's intention? Because that's not helping you. Another thing that you may want to be paying attention is your habit of proving yourself wrong. Proving yourself wrong. You heard it right. Okay? If you're thinking things are really terrible, why not put it to test? How many of you have this? Yeah. You feel terrible. You feel bad. You feel like things aren't working. Why don't you prove yourself wrong that it ain't bad at all? Now maybe it's just you thinking that it's bad. Sometimes it's fun, and it's gonna help you if you prove yourself wrong. Mhm. Look elsewhere. Look elsewhere. There are more people needing your smile. There are more people believing in you than what you are thinking right now. Be in the moment. As you pray, put your faith into action. Show compassion first to yourself. Take some vacation from perfection and give yourself permission to commit mistake. Make a list of things that aren't perfect in your life today and start believing that it gets better. If it's not perfect, it gets better every single day because hope is a power inside of you. Take time to understand your attitude. Your feeling of hopelessness may be just a feeling, but it's not true. It means that you can feel hopeful, but your experience today is full of hope. So the truth about hope and your feelings could be not really aligning, but the truth is you can prove yourself wrong and see that in truth and principle, your space is full of hope. Yes, Coach Tin? Connecting. As I close, I want you to remember that whatever you're going through today, truth of the matter, you've been here before. You've experienced similar things in the past. Many people will tell you, don't look back. But it's great to look back and see that in the past, you have accomplished. Look at the big picture of the future. But don't forget that when you look back, there are already great things in your life that you have accomplished. Forgive others by starting to forgive yourself. Trust others, but trust yourself first. Loosen your grip on all your expectations in life. Practice self-care by being kind to yourself. Just appreciating what you have done for the day is good enough. Let go of what you have not achieved, because years from now, you will appreciate what you have become because of the things you failed to achieve. Give yourself some time to enjoy life, breathe, examine your emotions at all times. And here's the good news. Get back the hope by allowing tears to flow. Start crying now. Cry it out. Let the tears come out. Let the tears express that you are human. Your pain makes you human, and your pain allows you to hope more. Create new goals. Go out. Call someone. Grab someone on the hand and say, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And above all else, believe that you can pamper yourself because God has set you apart to enjoy life at its fullest. Good night, everyone. This is Master Coach. I hope to see you here on floor for another conversation on Coaching for the Soul. Bye-bye. Labang boom!